Hello and welcome back to our channel. This is Happy Handicrafts and my name is Joanna. Today we'll be making a paper Sloyd diamond shaped box, which is the 12th supplementary model from the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Edna Ann Rich. If you're not already subscribed, do that now so that you don't lose us. We're working through every model in the book and we're recording it for you. Now the materials you're going to need for this project are the book, Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Edna Ann Rich, an X-Acto knife, a pencil, glue, a ruler, 2 pieces of matching quality cardstock. We're using some thick scrapbook paper, and a cutting mat. First, we're going to make the cover. We're starting from a 12-inch square piece of paper. We're going to measure down from the top on the left-hand side to 4 1/8 of an inch and place a dot. Then we'll move a ruler over several inches towards the middle of the paper and measure down from the top to 4 1/8 of an inch again and place a dot. Then we'll join those 2 dots with a horizontal line. Then we'll measure along the top from the left to 6 1/2 inches and place a dot. Then we'll bring our ruler down to the line we just drew and we'll measure in from the left to 6 1/2 inches and we'll place another dot. We'll then join those last 2 dots with a vertical line. Now we'll cut out our rectangle. Once we've cut that out, we're going to do some measurements. We're first going to measure down from the top on each side to 2 1/16 of an inch and place a dot. Then we'll join those 2 dots with a horizontal line. Next, we'll measure along the top and bottom and place dots at 1/4 inch, 3 1/4 inches, and 6 1/4 inches. We'll then join the respective dots with 3 vertical lines. Then along the top and bottom, we're going to measure and place dots at 1/4 inch on either side of the center line. Next, on the left and right side, we'll place dots 1/2 inch on either side of the horizontal line. Our next measurement will be on the center horizontal line. We are going to measure and place dots 2 11/16 on either side of the vertical center line. Then, with our ruler resting along the center vertical line, we'll place dots at 1 9/16 on either side of the horizontal line. Now, using all of our measurements, we're going to draw in the tabs. Because the descriptions are so difficult here, I'm just going to let Lucy show you.
Follow along and pause if you need to. Lucy knows what she's doing.
few more measurements that we missed, so we'll add them now. On the tab in the lower right-hand quadrant, we're going to measure 1/4 of an inch before continuing to draw our lines. We'll do the same for the tab in the upper left-hand quadrant. This next step is optional. We like to darken our cut lines to ensure we're not cutting along the wrong lines. If you feel confident, just go ahead and cut out the cover without emphasizing the lines. We'll speed this up in case you choose not to do it. And now it's time to cut out our cover. We're going to use our X-Acto knife. You can use scissors if you like. Next, we'll make our fold lines. We'll speed this up a little bit, again, because it does take some time. We like to reinforce our folds with the back of our ruler to make the lines a little crisper and neat. Once we're done that, we're going to glue it all together. Make sure the little tabs are on the inside when gluing. That's the end for the cover. So let's now make the box portion of the model. We chose a bright matching paper, which we cut into 5.5 inches by 7.5 inches. To do this, we measured down from the top on the left to 5.5 inches and placed a dot. Then we moved our ruler over several inches and measured down to 5.5 inches and placed another dot. And then we joined the two dots with a horizontal line. Next, we measured along the top from the left and placed a dot at 7.5 inches. We also measured along the previous line we drew to 7.5 inches and placed another dot. And then we joined our last two dots with a vertical line. Now we could have cut out our rectangle at this point, but we got a little carried away and drew another horizontal line before cutting it out. We measured down from the top on the left and right to 2 3/4 of an inch and placed our dots. and join the dots with a horizontal line. We'll cut out our rectangle now before we get too excited. Now let's place our markings. We're going to measure across the top and place dots at 3/8 of an inch, 3 3/4 of an inch, and 7 1/8 of an inch. Then we'll do the same along the bottom edge. And join the respective dots with vertical lines. Next, measuring along the vertical middle line, we're going to measure to 1.5 inches below and above the horizontal line, and we'll place a dot. Then with our ruler along the horizontal line, we'll measure to 2 5/8 of an inch to the right and to the left of the midline, and we'll place our dots. Next, along the bottom of our paper, we'll measure to 3/4 of an inch to the right of the midline, and we'll place a dot. Then we'll measure to the left of that midline, and we'll place dots at 1/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. We'll make similar markings along the top, first measuring 3/4 of an inch to the left of the midline and placing a dot, and then measuring 1/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch to the right and place dots. Now with our ruler on the first vertical line, we'll measure 1 1/4 inches above and below the horizontal line, and we'll place our dots. And then the same along the third vertical line. Now we'll draw in our lines, starting with the dotted fold lines. Once again, I'm going to have you watch and copy what Lucy's doing because the descriptions can get ridiculous. Here, as usual, you can see that we missed a couple of measurements. Watch Lucy closely so that you can see where she's making her 1/2 inch measurements. I'll pop any missed measurements up on the screen as well so you don't miss them. Now we'll go around the diamond and darken our cut lines. Just like before, this is totally optional. Next, using our X-Acto knife, we'll cut out our box. Now we're going to make our folds. We reinforce them with the back of our ruler to make the lines nice and crisp. To assemble our box, we're going to put glue on each of the 4 tabs and hold them against the sides of the box, making sure that they're on the inside of the box. Once they've all dried, your box is completed. You've got a cute little box with a cover for it. What will you keep in your box? Grandma Parsnip hijacked our box and used it as a boat. Thank you for crafting with us. Subscribe to our channel and we'll be sure to share useful arts, crafts, and skills.